So I'm Afika. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, but my family's from South Africa and Swaziland. I remember the first time I realized I had some sort of musical ability. We had this music class where our teacher would give us these like little cheesy plastic flutes called recorders, where everybody just learns hot cross buns. You know, this teacher gave them to us to take home for like a week. And during that week, I like figured out how it worked. I was like, oh cool, I can play Jingle Bells, I can play Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Oh, if those notes with that song work with that song, maybe I can play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I came back to school the next week and all my classmates assumed that I was taking lessons outside of class. And I was like, no, it's just these notes here, these finger things here. And that was the first, I remember very clearly the first time that I understood just very innately was completely foreign to somebody else. And I don't think I'd ever experienced that before. Coming to New York was, honestly, it was a rushed decision. I got offered a publishing contract to come up to New York. And so I came up for what was supposed to be just the summer. But I was working with this incredible producer and we were making this incredible music and things were moving really quickly and was like comically broke for a long time. But I got to make some incredible songs out of it. Chosen is one of the songs, ironically, that came out of that big move that summer.
Show me what to love, what to hunt, what to fight, what to kill for.
I've always felt like I had a responsibility to do something big and important to serve lots of people. Chosen is kind of about having that responsibility always echoing its way through my head, but how as soon as you figure that out about yourself, you better expect to face some real hardship about it. The original session for Chosen was with Christian Metis, who's a really dope producer. We started Chosen in his small, windowless basement studio in a Bushwick kind of refurbed warehouse. Chosen started with a voice note, like an idea that I had on the train. And I came into the studio with that idea, and then Christian just started laying down chords on the piano. But when we really figured out that it was something special was when James Shelley, who plays mandolin for American authors, he walked in the studio and as soon as we pressed play, he like stopped. He's like, whoa, play it again. King's Court's another song that's on the BLK JON SNO project. That one started literally like most songs do, with like some vocal melody that pops up.
Show these queens what a king look like.
And I go to the studio with Christian, I'm like, hey, is this cool? And he's like, I don't know, let's mess around with it. So we did, we start just like messing around with the song. That song is actually really special and important for me because in a way it gave me a huge boost of confidence about my own like singing.
I made to show these queens what a king look like. It to show these queens what a king look like. I made to show these.
So the third song on BLK JON SNO is Guide Me Home. You know, that transition to New York was difficult. Leaving kind of the love of my life back home in North Carolina. And then now I'm up in New York and it just got, you know, pretty lonely. And that's where that song came from. It was like, I knew that I was in this state where I needed to be led back home, back on my path. But I was fortunate enough to have an outlet to kind of write about it. And I was fortunate enough to work with guys as talented as Christian Metis and Totem singing on the hook. And you know, as soon as they started laying the first chords in the writing sessions that we were having, and Totem starts singing, he's just got this incredible voice.
If you're listening, save my soul. Tell me that I'm not alone. When the wind...
As soon as it started going, like we finished it quick. Like verses were just written, and I think it just told me that I just had a lot of stuff I need to get out of me. And hopefully it heals people. Our culture doesn't know how to talk about the hard stuff we go through. We share a bunch of stuff on social media, but we only share it to the extent that it makes us look good. We don't have spaces for us to talk about the bad and difficult things in our lives, the shame that we feel. Like, shame is such an intense feeling for all of us, and we don't know how to talk about it. If you were able to have a song that can accurately express a moment of shame that someone feels for something they did, and then you, in your solitude and fear of exposing moments that you felt shame, can then hear someone else say it out loud, all of a sudden your floodgates are opened up. Now you can let out those whispers and those voices that bounce around in your head that cause you to shrink for other people. All of a sudden you can release that voice out into the world. Then all of a sudden, oh shit, you felt like that too? You felt like that too? Wow, now all of a sudden we've got a community around a thing that used to be your dirty little secret. All because one writer chose to be brave and say something in a memorable way.